believe it's a conversation that needs to be had, because as we started out this conversation, I believe that the biggest curse, I guess we could say, while people are trying to claim that we're in a post-racial society, I find it to be very crazy for people to sit there and say that, while at the same time it is very obvious that certain actions that they are taking in regards to, for instance, Calvin Duncan here in this back home in New Orleans in Louisiana, it's finding hard to believe that it's anything else other than retaliation and race-based targeting, because this black man spent almost 30 years in prison. He did that, and then a couple of years later, he decided to run for clerk of Orleans Parish Criminal District Court. He's a very articulate man, and I know my lane as an ally, as an accomplice, but it's very hard to believe that it's anything else other than what it is, because if it wasn't targeted towards him, then how is it that everybody else who was elected in that and the other legislation allows everybody else to carry out their terms, but Calvin, for whatever reason, now he's being kicked back and his seat is being eliminated? That's gone viral this week, because I went out there to the Louisiana legislature and I put them all on notice that I'm sick of it. And to the reparations part, and going back to the point, up until the United States reckons with the hypocritical stance of saying all men are created equal, and then saying that blacks are 3/5 of a person in Article 1 of the Constitution, up until we reconcile this component, and knowing that it wasn't until another 100 years later that the Civil War ends, and then we're passing the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment, as if those things, we're not having a conversation about equality, we're having a conversation about equity. And I'm open to whatever discussions that may be, whether that be looking like reparations, whether it's financial compensation, whether what all that is. And that's kind of the point that I made to the current mayor of New Orleans, Helena Moreno, whenever the conversations about Palestine were coming up. And the city of New Orleans drafted a statement for peace, yet they sat down at the table with the Jewish Federation, and only the Jewish Federation, and excluded intentionally Palestinian voices for the conversation. Well, that to me sounds like, I'm going to talk about reparations, but I'm going to invite the KKK to the group, and then I'm only going to talk to them. But at the end of the day, how are you going to exclude the voices of those who were the victims of the actions from this statement of peace, or from the progress that we're all looking forward to move forward on? How are you going to push that?